the greatest movie reviews and interviews. This is your entertainment ticket.
Hey, this is Al McGee with Your Entertainment Ticket. I'm here with Robert Earl. He is the author of Miami Misnomer. This is his second book that he wrote. Let me tell you this. This is a very, very great book to read, full of action, sex, and violence. But man, this is a great book because it has great character development. Robert, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, your main character, Simon Roller, who is he?
Simon Roller is a youth living in Miami in the 80s.
And you wrote this book about Miami in the 80s. And why did you decide to write about Miami again? Because this is your second book. You wrote Miami Contingency, but now this is going back to the 80s. Why the 80s?
Because the 80s were a very interesting time in Miami's development and in the history of Miami. It was a lot of information and a lot of stuff I could draw from in the 80s. You know, drugs. That's when Miami was had the number one murder rate, and that's when crack cocaine first came on the scene.
Right.
The Cubans, the Haitians.
And you write a lot about that here in this book. Well, let's get back to your main character, Simon Roller. Who is he?
He was a young guy growing up in Miami in a drug-infested neighborhood, and he was able to make it out. He was able to make it out of the ghetto and become a police officer.
Yeah.
You know, but he has like a scarred past. I don't really want to give away exactly what.
No, we don't want to get that away. You gotta read the book and see
Right.
about that. But it's very interesting that you would talk about that subject in this book.
I like to write about subjects that people like to sweep under the rug and hide in.
They
the closet.
really do.
You know, I want to bring it to light and thereby helping people to get free from it and exposing it and talking about it and starting a conversation about it.
Well, you do this in this book. In fact, when I read this book, I had a conversation with a couple of people about some of the subject matter in this one too.
Right. Yeah, I like to be controversial, you know.
Well, this book will definitely put you there once the reader reads this, and they're gonna think a lot about this book.
Oh, yeah, you just prophesied. You say this film.
I almost said film. Okay, now you're right about that. So, well, let's get back to your beginnings. Again, you wrote, this is your second book. And what inspired you to be a writer?
I don't know, it's like a gift. It's like I have all these stories. I got I done lived a long time now. I'm old school.
Right.
And I don't look it because I try to exercise and keep myself, straight, but
right in shape.
But I got some miles on me, and so I done did some things and I done met some people, and I was able to incorporate some of this living and experiences into stories, because maybe, like I say, you can write stories and fictionalize them and help people, to get free from some of their problems, because they're gonna relate.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna relate to these people,
Definitely.
even whether they want to admit it or don't want to admit it, they're gonna relate to what we writing about,
Now, Miami Misnomer, what does that mean?
Misnomer is a special kind of mistake. Misnomer is a word that's misnamed, like a person that's misnamed, like if I called you Shorty.
Mm-hmm. And I'm tall.
Yeah, or things that has been misnamed, like strawberries, they ain't berries. French fries, not a French fry, don't have nothing to do with France. Smokey Robinson. You talk about Smokey, you would think of somebody dark skinned.
Right.
So misnamer is names that's mistakenly named, misnamed names.
So you have a lot of your characters in this book sort of like that, right?
They misnamed. They called one thing, but they should be something else. Mm-hmm. It's like pretentious names. Like you label somebody or something with one title, but it really is misnamed because it's not that, you know.
Well, you know, you do talk a lot about Miami in the 80s at the time. In fact, some things that I didn't even know that went on with Miami. For one thing about like the Yahwehs and things like that.
Oh yeah. I wrote about, you know, some people have, you know, people get amnesia and they forget. So I'm just here to stir up the memory. That's all, you know.
I do remember them being in the news when I first moved down here.
Yeah, I did a lot of research. And to, you know, to get this book where it was at. And I changed the name to protect the guilty, you know, so so, you know, and so I'm writing facts. I'm writing factual stuff with a fictionalized background, you know, people that don't exist, and I'm placing them in things that did exist. And that way the story comes across as more realistic because people going, I remember that.
Now, when the reader reads this book, what you want them to get from this book, to understand, to know, and feel from this book, Miami Misnomer?
I want them to be entertained, and at the same time, I want them to be enlightened, and I want them to understand the situations of their book so that they don't never repeat the things that the book talks about, or, you know, the subjects. I don't want them to fall into the traps that the people in this book fell into.
Right.
I'm trying to pull the cover off of certain entities and just make the people more aware. I want the people to walk away entertained. I want them to be aware and enlightened to situations, and that's what I want.
Well, that happened to me when I read this book, Robert Earl. Robert Earl's Miami Misnomer. Pick it up at your bookstore, or it's on Amazon, right?
Yeah, and it's in Barnes and Nobles, and I'm gonna be at the Miami International Book Fair, November the 18th on a Saturday.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
nice.
I'm gonna be down there selling books. I'm gonna have a stand selling books and signing books. Come on down, get one, and it's in the stores, Barnes and Noble stores, and also at Books and Books down in Coral Gables. They got 6 stores.
Right.
It's wherever they sell books, you'll be able to find it, and you can get it on ebooks and iPad or whatever you call it. No.
I know, right?
Right.
Well, thank you for watching, and also Robert Earl, I want to thank you for coming on Your Entertainment Ticket. And like I said, this is a very entertaining book, and I picked it up. I could not put it down. I want to thank you for this.
And I want to thank you for the interview, and I want to thank the people that support me in Miami, in South Florida, and all over. I want to thank y'all for watching this video.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest movie reviews and interviews. This is your entertainment ticket. YEticket.com. Yeah. This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest movie